Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 6, 2021. My name is Wang, and this is this week's Market Wrap-Up. Strong job report released while investors waiting on key inflation indicators. The economy added 841,000 jobs in July, about the same as June's job growth, compared to 870K market expectations put by Dow Jones. More important, this upward trend in job growth has been sustained. Over the past 3 months, according to the Labor Department's revised figures, the number of new jobs being created has averaged 837,000. The job data is key to the Fed decision on when it will move to slow down its bond buying, the first step towards rolling back its easy policies and a precursor to interest rate hikes. Fed chairman said last week he would like to see a few strong job reports before the Fed begin to trim its 120 billion a month purchases of treasury and mortgage securities. China exports slowdown while continues regulatory crackdown. China's trade with the rest of the world grew by 11.5% year-on-year in July, official data published on Saturday showed. However, the customer data indicated that the growth rate from a year earlier has slowed down, mainly due to the sudden Delta variant spread and seasonal flood. China has maintained its pace of tightening regulatory policies and after scrutiny to the several Chinese tech giants, as well as restricting the education sector in the past few weeks. Chinese chip-making equities slumped as Beijing sent speculation warnings this Friday. Berkshire Hathaway's operating earnings jumped 21% as recovering economy boosts. Berkshire Hathaway's operation earnings reported at 6.69 billion in the second quarter, up 21% year-over-year, according to its earnings report released on Saturday. Berkshire is outperforming the S&P 500 return year-to-date by over 4 percentage points, and it rose 8.8% in the second quarter versus 8.2% for the S&P 500. Chairman and CEO Warren Buffett keep buying back Berkshire shares aggressively instead of making sizable acquisitions. The company repurchased $6 billion of its own stock in the second quarter, while at the end of June, Berkshire cash pile stood at $144.1 billion despite the massive buyback. Now let's see what happened with the market today. The North American market saw a possible week as the strong job report release and confidence toward the end of the pandemic. Meanwhile, U.S. infrastructure bill is putting legislation on path to passage late Monday or early Thursday. Nasdaq, TSX, and S&P 500 are up around 1%. European market is picking up, seeing overall positive weeks as well. FTSE and DAX are up around 1%, while CAC 40 is up around 3%. Moving to the Asian market, we are seeing completely different picture. The market higher and emits reports highlighting progresses on regulatory divisions, which is contrary to the regulatory crackdown. The ASX and Nikkei is up around 2% and Hang Seng is up around 1% this week. The Canadian currency is slightly weaker compared to other currencies, especially after the Canadian Central Bank slightly cut the quantitative easing program. In terms of commodities, oil price down significantly around 8%. Gold price down around 3% as US markets rise. And copper, the base metal, is down 2.2% this week. Thank you for listening to this week's market wrap-up. If you are interested in volunteer opportunities as the next news broadcaster, please contact the bridge. Thank you and have a good day.